Hello everyone, I'm Prithvi and today I'm going to talk on source code analysis for application security. So I'm going to tell you in brief what we're going to see today. We are going to see what to start source code analysis. We are going to see different types of tools for static source code analysis. We are going to just talk a minute on differences between static source code and dynamic source code analysis, and we are going to see how threat intelligence can be incorporated with source code for effective source code analysis. About me, I'm an intern at NCIPC, Delhi, and was an enterprise tester at Virtual Testing Foundation, California, USA. I'm a co-organizer at OAS Belagavi chapter and a speaker with OAS Belagavi chapter. Okay, so what is source code analysis? Source code analysis is automated testing of source code to debug a computer program or application before it is distributed or sold. So source code analysis can be either static or dynamic. In static source code, debugging is done by examining the code without actually executing the program. But this can reveal errors at an early stage in program development, often eliminating the need of multiple revisions later. After static analysis has been done, dynamic analysis is performed in an effort to uncover more subtle defects or vulnerabilities. The dynamic analysis consists of real-time program testing, which is done in production or in a test environment, and static code analysis is done in the development phase and is directly done on the code, not the functions. Okay, so static source code analysis. Static source code analysis is performed in which stage? It's performed in development stage, and that's where software testing begins. It's performed in that stage. What are the benefits of static analysis over dynamic analysis tools? Okay, the first benefit of static analysis would be speed. I'll explain a bit about all the benefits of static source code analysis. Okay, the first one is speed. It takes time for developers to do manual code reviews. Automated tools are much faster. Static code checking addresses problems early on, and it pinpoints exactly where the error is in the code. So you'll be able to fix those errors faster. Plus, coding errors can be found earlier and can be fixed in a very less costly way. Okay, the next one will be depth. Testing cannot cover every possible code execution part, but a static analyzer can. It checks the code as you work on your build. You'll get an in-depth analysis of where they might be potential problems in the code based on the rules you have applied. And then the third one would be accuracy. Manual code reviews are prone to human error. Automated tools are not, and they scan every line of code to identify potential problems. This helps you ensure the highest quality code is in place before testing begins. After all, you are complying with the coding standards. Quality is critical. Okay, so how to choose a static code analysis tools? There are two things which come in play over here. First one would be programming language, and second one would be standards. In programming language, analyzers are designed in many different programming languages. So it's important you choose a tool that supports your language. You will find multiple commercial and open source tools in OASP website. And when we come to standards, one of the primary uses of static analysis is to comply with standards. So if you are in a regulated industry that requires a coding standard, you'll want to make sure that your tools support that standard as well. You don't want to be in any problem by using any third party tool which is not being accepted in the industry. Okay, the next one would be static source code analysis with threat intelligence. So here we are going to explain this with the help of an example. Consider healthcare software company named as ABC and a group of hackers named as XYZ. Okay, so here what happened is the company named ABC is using a concept known as purple teaming, in which both red teaming members and the blue team members come together and work on vulnerabilities so that they can defend the organization more effectively. So using the purple teaming concept, the threat intelligence officer, so who's the head of threat intelligence, goes to the management, developers, SOC team, goes to the head of each and every department in the organization and asks them, what are your critical infrastructure, what is important to the organization, what is important to defend. So he gets a list of all them from the management, and he's informed by the management that we are developing a product for so and so hospital, and this is the product information. I want you to go through MITRE attack. MITRE attack is a framework which is developed by attack is a framework which is developed by MITRE, in which all the security practitioners from each and every different kind of industry in cyber security come together and work to a single cause to get more and more information on how malicious actors work. So the threat intelligence officer reaches the management tells him that, yeah, this is the code, this is the program, and this is how the developers have developed it. I want you to go through the MITRE attack framework, and when he and asks him to get all the hacker groups which are actively hunting on healthcare software. So in static source code analysis, it's and you in even in the case when developers are doing the testing, there are too many variables at play. You cannot just focus on all of them. There might be a deadline, there might be some infrastructure restrictions, so and so on and so forth. So what the threat intelligence officer here does is he goes on MITRE attack. I'll show you how to find that on MITRE attack. He goes on MITRE attack, he finds the groups, he finds the methods which they use, so that the developers can focus on those methods and defend the organization by securing themselves from those attacks. So I'll show you how we can use MITRE attack over here. So this is just the framework. Here you can see all the tactics which are being used and which are being exploited in the wild. Here are all the techniques which the attackers use. It's a very big list of them. You can go through them if you want. And here are the mitigations. This is the 3 TTP. So tactic, techniques, and procedures. So this is how an attacker executes them. So here we are mainly focusing on healthcare. So I'll just search healthcare. So when I search healthcare, I get group of all the hacker groups which are actively hunting. So this group has been observed targeting healthcare, telecom, technology industry. So I'll select advanced persistent threat group number 41. So here there are the techniques used. So there's an application layer protocol, web protocols, and here are the techniques. So archive via utility. So there are multiple techniques which they use to target healthcare. So this is a rootkit which they use on a Linux system. So for example, I'll go to the rootkit and I can see procedure examples on how this is. So what mitigation and detection, how it has been detected, and all the references which the developer or the threat intelligence officer can note it down in a list and give the developer so that they can fix these issues. If they are already fixed, well and fine. If they are not fixed, the developers can address these issues. So this is how MITRE attack comes in play. This is how threat intelligence can be used for effective source code analysis. It is still a theoretical concept where the developer gets all the vulnerability, all the techniques which attacker group uses in the wild to attack any healthcare providers, so that they can secure their system. Okay, so the next thing is we are going to check out on tools. The first tools which we are going to see is Node.js Scan, which is a static source code analysis tool. The second one is Deep Scan, which is used for JS, and Spot Bug, which is used for Java. So the first one we'll go with Node.js Scan. You can just add your Git repository over here. I'll just go through my GitHub and just get a project. Yeah. So here I have a repository known as catering management. I have made it as a part of my college project, and I'll just copy the link, paste it over here. It starts to, it will clone the repository and it starts analyzing it. Until this is analyzed, let's go towards deep scan and start running the scan over there as well. I'm in the deep scan website. You can use it for free, or you can get this through GitHub education pack, or you can check the pricing and buy it for yourself. So here I need to paste a JavaScript code. Here is a random JavaScript code which I found in GitHub. So let me just use that code and let's analyze. So over here you can see in the right hand side that there are 4 medium issues found and 2 low issues found. So this is how these might be coding errors, these might be some of the logical errors which the system knows, and it will give you these errors so that you can solve these and secure your program. Okay, so the Node.js scan is still analyzing. Okay, within this time, so this is how you can use deep scan to just copy paste your JavaScript code, or you can use the file, paste it here. There are multiple different languages: JavaScript, React, TypeScript. So you can use any of these languages. You can use deep scan to scan any of these languages. Okay, so Node.js scan has been completed. Over here, it has found 14 vulnerabilities or 14 issues. You can see all of those issues over here. You can see the CV number, what has been failed. You can come over here below and you can check the issues, which you can, if you think this is a false positive, you can mark it as a false positive. So this is how you can use Node.js scan to find vulnerabilities in your Node.js application. It will do a static code analysis on all the files which are there in your repository. Sometimes it might not be your coding error. Sometimes there might be a dependency which has not been updated, and there is a vulnerability which is there in that version of those dependencies. So those you can find those with the help of Node.js scan, and then you can fix those issues in your application. So we have gone through Node.js scan and deep scan. So let's begin with spot bugs. So this is the installation for all these three is very simple. Node.js scan, there is Docker image available. Spot bugs, it's just a Java file which you have to run on your local system. So what I'll do over here is I'll create a new project. I'll name it as Geekle. I'll I'll just take the spot bugs files itself. I'll just select some 3-4 files from spot bug repository and then just start to analyze them. So you can add a complete directory over here, or you can add single files which you want to test, which are a Java file or a jar file. So I'll let this happen. Yeah, so here as you can see, it has found out issues in the code. You can go here, you can check what's the issue. If it's in red, it's a high. If it's in red, it's a very high vulnerability, which can be considered, the impact can be very high. There are some places that are yellow, so it's a medium vulnerability. So you can check over here, you can come over here, you can read what is the vulnerability. You can go fix those vulnerabilities through here, and then you can rescan the files and you can check if you have solved those vulnerabilities. So this is how spot bugs can be used to find vulnerabilities which are there in your root source code, and then you can fix them. So yeah, so that's all with source code. The main thing which I wanted to share today with the cybersecurity community was source code analysis is an important thing which each and every organization should not ignore. You can increase the impact of an effective source code analysis by including threat intelligence in that. You can ask your threat intelligence officer if it's he's there in your organization, or you can contract someone from outside, ask them to find threat groups which are actively hunting on healthcare providers or anything which any domain which your company might be working on. Let them get the list. Use check the techniques and methods which the attackers are exploiting in the wild, so that you can secure your application or your organization softwares from those attacks effectively. So thank you Geekle for providing such a good opportunity to speak in such a good conference. You can connect with me on LinkedIn, so you can just go with Prithvi Gudodagi, and I'll be happy to connect with you all. Thank you, everyone.